The NYSE Arca has officially filed a 19B4 application with the U.S. SEC on behalf of Bitwise to list and trade shares of a Dogecoin ETF. This move signals a growing institutional interest in Dogecoin, once considered just a joke currency. But does this mean we are on the verge of a Dogecoin ETF approval? And what does it say about the changing regulatory landscape? Let's break it down. Bitwise, a major asset manager handling over $12 billion in client assets, has been making steady progress toward launching a Dogecoin ETF. Before this latest filing, Bitwise had already registered the Bitwise Dogecoin ETF with the CSC Delaware Trust Company and submitted an S-1 filing through NYSE. However, these earlier steps did not constitute an official request for a rule change. That request came with the NYSE's 19B4 filing on Monday, which essentially asked the SEC to approve the listing and trading of Bitwise Dogecoin ETF. Now, why is this significant? First, it confirms that institutional investors are taking meme coins seriously. Dogecoin, often seen as a speculative asset driven by social media, now has the backing of firms like Bitwise, and it's not the only one. Grayscale, another major player, has also filed for a Dogecoin ETF, and the SEC has acknowledged their application. Second, it highlights a shift in regulatory attitudes. Under Gary Gensler, the SEC has been cautious about approving crypto ETFs. Yet, the regulatory environment seems to be evolving. The SEC has previously clarified that meme coins like Dogecoin are not considered securities, which means they may face fewer regulatory hurdles compared to other cryptocurrencies. This could explain why we are now seeing multiple Dogecoin ETF filings and why market watchers believe an altcoin ETF approval could happen this year. But what about the risks? Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which have more established use cases and institutional adoption, Dogecoin remains largely speculative. Critics argue that an ETF for Dogecoin could introduce significant volatility into traditional markets. However, supporters believe that an ETF would provide a more structured and regulated way for investors to gain exposure to Dogecoin without directly holding the asset. It's also worth noting that Coinbase has been named as the custodian for the Bitwise Dogecoin Trust, while BNY Mellon will handle cash holdings. These partnerships with established financial institutions could further strengthen the case for regulatory approval. So what happens next? The SEC will review the 19B4 filing. And while approval is not guaranteed, the fact that multiple Dogecoin ETFs are under consideration suggests that we are moving toward greater acceptance of crypto-based investment products. If approved, this could set a precedent for other meme coins to follow suit. Will 2024 be the year of the first Dogecoin ETF? We'll have to wait and see. But one thing is clear. What was once a joke is now a serious contender in the financial world. What do you think? Will the SEC approve a Dogecoin ETF? Let us know in the comments.